Hey everybody, welcome back to the MacWhisperer Academy. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you all about the Control Center. What's the Control Center, you ask? Well, it's an awesome function of your iPhone and iPad that Apple released back in 2013, but even though it's been around for 8 years, most people are barely using that much of it. But not you. After our lesson today, you're going to know all about it, and it's going to save you tons of time and make so many of the things that you're doing easier and quicker. So the first thing we need to do is learn how to access the Control Center. It differs a little bit between phones with a home button and phones with a facial recognition. So if you have a phone with a home button, you're going to put your finger down at the bottom of your screen, actually below the screen itself, and you're going to lift slowly up, and you'll get right into your Control Center that way. But if you've got a facial recognition phone, you're going to go from the top right corner of your screen and drag down there, and you'll end up with the Control Center there. It's the same Control Center, it's just accessed in a different way. Well, now that we know how to get into the Control Center, why would we want to? Well, let's take a look around the Control Center to really explain it. Understand that the intention of the Control Center is to get to frequently used settings and applications quickly. So once you've gotten into the Control Center, you're going to notice that there's several icons across the screen. If yours looks a little different from mine, that's okay. We're going to talk about customizing it in a few minutes. But before we get there, let's just look across what the standard settings are. First, in the upper left-hand corner, we've got the networking settings. That includes Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular, airplane mode, your hotspot, and also your Airdrop. To the right of that, we've got our audio and video playback section. That's where you'll see music that you're playing, videos that you're playing. You can adjust the volume and things like that. Down below those two squares, you'll see your Do Not Disturb setting, which is super valuable. We'll get back to that, as well as your lock rotation button that can prevent your phone from rotating as you move it into different positions. You also have your brightness control and your volume control, and at the bottom of the screen, you should see a handful of your most commonly used applications, which in this case include the flashlight, the timer, the calculator, and the camera. Pretty cool. It makes it really easy for you to get into some of the applications that you use all the time. But the best part of Control Center is how easy it is for you to access some of your most important settings. The two settings I find myself changing most are my Wi-Fi settings and my Bluetooth settings. So it's really easy to do this. Once you're inside of the Control Center like this, you push down on the group of network tools in the upper left-hand corner, they'll expand just like this. Now from this screen, you can see in addition to your airplane mode and your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth and your cellular, you also see your personal hotspot. The personal hotspot is a great way to share your phone's internet connection with another device like a computer or an iPad. This is where you can control a lot of that. You also have settings for Airdrop. Airdrop is an awesome way to send information between any Apple device and any other Apple device. So maybe you're sharing pictures or notes, or you're sending somebody your address book card. All of that can be done with Airdrop, and the Airdrop controls are inside of this box too. But once you open up this expanded box, there's another trick in store for you. If you press and hold on either the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi settings like this, I'll click on the Bluetooth one first, it opens up into all of the available Bluetooth devices that your phone knows and makes it super easy for you to switch to a different headset. Or if you press and hold on the Wi-Fi like this, you get a listing of all of the existing Wi-Fi zones that are in your area, and you can immediately jump from one of them to another. In my case, it jumped onto my slow one, so let me get it on the fast one by clicking down here, and right away I'm on a different Wi-Fi, just like that. I really love how easy it is to get into the network settings and make those quick changes. But one of the other valuable tools of the Control Center is the music section. By pressing and holding on the music section, it expands out and it shows you the last thing that you were playing on your phone, which could be your YouTube or a video or a song or an audiobook. In my case, it's a song, and it shows the name of the song, and it also shows a little scroll bar right here that can allow you to move the song forward or backwards easily. You've got your volume volume controls down here that you can adjust higher or lower. You can play, you can pause, you can rewind. You can even press and hold on the AirPlay symbol in the top right corner here, and that can allow you to send the sound that you're listening to through your phone to one of your other devices like an Apple TV or a nearby sound system or your Airpods. Below that, you've got your lock rotation. Now, sometimes when you turn your phone one way or the other, the screen may flip in order to theoretically help you out, but sometimes you don't want it to. This little button here, the lock rotation button, can prevent it from doing that. By simply pressing it, it then locks it into either the vertical or the horizontal position. To the right of that, we've got the Do Not Disturb button. Have you ever wanted to take a nap or take a break or not be disturbed by your phone 24/7? It's super easy to do it. Pop right into your control center here and then click on that little moon. That's it. That's it. When you have that moon turned on, it's Do Not Disturb mode, which means that any phone calls will go straight to your voicemail, any text messages or other notifications will be silenced, it'll only be a vibration, and it won't disturb you at all. It's very easy to turn it on, but what I love about the control center is not just turning it on, but the way that you can control it. If you press and hold on the Do Not Disturb symbol here like this, you get options like Do Not Disturb for an hour, or until tomorrow morning, or until I leave this location. If your calendar has a certain appointment on it, the Do Not Disturb setting will even recognize that there's an appointment going on and ask if you would like to turn Do Not Disturb on until the appointment is over. Super easy to do that and super quick. You'll also notice these 4 tools down at the bottom. And as I said before, you can click on them to really quickly jump into the calendar, or jump into your camera, or jump into your flashlight, or your timer. But what's really cool is if you press and hold on those icons, they do special things too. Like the timer, if I press and hold on it, it gives me the option to do a quick creation of a quick timer. If I press and hold on the calculator, it gives me the option to copy my last calculation result. If I press and hold on the camera icon, it gives me all sorts of special options like recording a video, doing a selfie, taking a portrait, etc. So it's super easy and super effective to just go into the control center and turn on or off any of these settings, access any of those tools, or quickly press and hold to make some quick changes to some of your settings. But there's so much more that you can do with the control center. So in order to explain that, let's get out of the control center first, and let's go into the settings section. Inside settings, you will find a section specifically for the control center called, well, Control Center. As you step into it, you're going to see a couple of options at the top. The first one asks if you want to use Control Center within apps. Do not question this one, just turn it on. Leaving this off causes problems all over the place, so just leave this one on. So then the second option talks about showing home controls. This is referring to smart home devices. Smart home devices might be like automatic lights that you can turn on and off from your phone, or maybe you've got blinds that raise and lower, or maybe your front door or your thermostat is controlled via your phone through one of these smart home apps. If you have smart home apps, you should definitely leave this on because it makes it way easier for you to do things like change the temperature or unlock the front door right from the control center. But if you don't have any smart home devices, this can be turned off no problem. Now down below that, we see the 4 applications that are pre-installed in the control center. That's the flashlight, the timer, the calculator, and the camera. But there's a lot of other tools. As we scroll down here, you're going to see a plethora of options that you can add into your control center. I'm going to tell you the ones I highly recommend you turn on. We're going to start at the top here, and I'm going to tell you that I strongly recommend if you have an Apple TV, put the Apple TV remote on your control center. That means if you can't find the remote, you can just use your phone, which is awesome. I cannot tell you how important it is to have low power mode on your control center. Let's go ahead and click that here. Low power mode gives you quick and easy access to the one button that will save 30% of your battery without you even having to do anything. Some of the other apps that I really highly recommend, if you do a lot of setting of alarms, you can turn your alarm on. You can also, if you have Airpods, you can turn on announce messages with Siri. What that means is if your Airpods are in your ear and somebody texts you, it will read the text directly to you right from there. And I like having it on the control center because then I can easily toggle it on or off depending on whether I want to be disturbed by messages at that time or not. And you can also put your wallet and your voice memos in the control center, just like that. By having your wallet and your voice memos and all these other tools in the control center, when you come into the control center, yeah, there's a lot more to it, but there's also more things that you can do. And you can see right here, there's the Apple TV remote, there's low power mode, there's notes, there's alarms, there's the announced messages with Siri, there's voice memos, and there's wallet. Now, whenever I need to get into something that I use frequently, like the wallet, instead of having to search around from page to page, where did I put that wallet, I can just swipe down from the top and click right into it, and I'm there in just a second. Or I can swipe down and I can go directly into my notes, just like that. Or I can swipe down and I can put myself on Do Not Disturb for an hour and go take a nap, just like that. You see, that's the power of the control center. It puts all of the tools and the settings and the applications that you're using all the time right at your fingertips. So I'm Dylan Stewart. I'm the Mac Whisperer. Thanks so much for watching. And if you got value out of this lesson and want more information, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel because we release new episodes every week teaching you the ins and outs of making the most out of your Apple products. I can't wait to see you for the next lesson. Talk to you then.